Number 5 is special education. This is a really big one, and it's one of the reasons that really breaks my heart. As a dual licensed ELA and special education teacher, I can honestly say that SPED is one of the most broken parts of the entire education system. Parents, I'm going to level with you. Your students are on the whole not getting the accommodations that they need. And it's not because the teachers are not doing their due diligence. It's because the setup of the system makes providing support next to impossible. When SPED teachers have students on their caseload that they don't even know, that they don't even see during the school day, when service providers get stuck in endless meetings and have no time to actually deliver services, when teachers are expected to provide data at the beginning of the school year on students they barely know, the whole system is broken. So much of it is just going through the bureaucratic motions to keep up appearances, to pass an audit. Accommodations that get put in IEPs are, on one end, completely site-specific and impossible to implement when a student transfers to a new school or district. Or on the other end, they're literally just best practice that every teacher worth their salt should already be doing as part of Universal Design for Learning. At my current school, I have students who are literally designated as needing a separate classroom with a small number of students and a designated special education teacher. Instead, they're being forced into this general education classroom in a faux inclusion model. This is highly illegal, and it's apparently happening all throughout my district. And even in a meeting with an advocate and highly engaged parents, no one questioned it. These students need a separate setting, and that's not what's being provided for them. Yes, in the past, the leveling of classes and the ostracization of special ed students in separate classrooms was a huge issue. But now the pendulum has swung so far in the opposite direction that we are overloading students into inclusion classes with no additional support. There are inclusion classes that are supposed to only have a small fraction of IEP students, less than 50%, and yet they take up most of the class, which is also illegal. They are not getting their needs met. And again, it's not for lack of trying on the teacher's behalf. And with the way that the general education students have been behaving, being in a general education classroom is often detrimental to struggling students' emotional, social, and academic well-being. Sometimes a substantially separate program is so much more of a fit for struggling students, but the stigma remains, and there is so much red tape, even for people who want that for their student. So much red tape for just giving the students the support that they need. There is also a huge lack of collaboration between classroom teachers, special education teachers, and service providers. We often get no common planning time to make the necessary adjustments to curriculum and to instruction. And the people in charge don't care. There is an instructional coach at my school who didn't even know what a speech-language pathologist was. And parents are taking aim at the classroom teachers rather than the districts who are refusing to spend more money and provide more supports for the students. They'd rather keep everything as the status quo.